Welcome back everyone. In our last video we have seen we are created a use as old mutation. Now in this video I promise you guys I will create a context. So what is context? Context is something that hold some data. Okay, now context is also an important thing, so we can prevent a user who is not registered or is who does not have any instance on our server. So that is an important thing. So I just, for creating that, I will create a utils on src. So there is a utils, and then in the utils I will create a file that is a context, and the context, not only context provider or red context, that is more meaningful, red context. And okay, suppose someone used that and his case there is a mouse, so that is not also meaningful something. What should be the name? Context, magic context, because that work like a magic. And I just take it a RSC or a boilerplate, and here I create a context that is a magic cp, and I will create a context, and the context default value is a null. Then the context get a param that is a children, and the children type is children type is React node, and I just call the magic cp here, and call the provider. In magic cp take one thing that is a value and a children. Okay, now what should be the value? Like I create a constant that is a value, and the value is an object, and the side like user is Siam syntax. Okay, now if I'm send that value, then you can see I also need to define that type is not as enabled because I am using TypeScript. Now for configure the type, value type, I just need to create a type that is value, and the value type is a user, and the user is a string. Now I need to use that value. Okay, now you can see value is not assignable to null. Okay, that is telling me value is not assignable to null. Okay, now you can see where we use that null. We use that null here. So the value, or we are pass a generic here that is value either null. So the error is resolved. Now we're going to use that context. So for using that context we need to use that on main.tx, and here I just call that magic context, and magic context is taking children, so I just pass that children here, router provider. So the router provider will be children of magic context. And now I need to get that currently which page I am on channel join. So I just go on channel join page, and here I will call string, there is a user, and here I just call use context, and the context is mg or magic context or magic cp, probably that is magic cp or something, I am forget. Yeah, I am not export that magic cp, so I need to export that. yeah, I have exported magic cp. Now I need to use that, and if I log that user, then you can see the user have something like a user. That user is this. Now if I check the console log and just refresh it and check the dev tool, and you can see it is loading because I have used hard load, and you can see syntax Siam from channel join line number 13. So now I need to call a API on the magic context, and that API will get my information. So what is my information? So my information is the me that we have used on the auth user info, but that my info, like in that mini app I am going to use the tag is very in-depthly. But if I invalidate a tag, then I don't want the mini app will be load from sketch again. So I will separately create another info API for that context, because I know that is a complex thing for new, but you need to remember you are watching a complex thing. So that is little bit complex, I know. Okay, so I just need to change that user info, and here I just take my info. That is not only my info, that is my info context. My info context, copy my info context. Okay, now I just need to call that magic or my info. From where I need to call that this is probably use lazy my info. I need to use that lazy my info. I need to call that on magic context. So first of all I need to define that, then I will call that my info. Then what I am getting here, data, and then that is I am not going to pass any argument. Okay, now first thing what we need to do, I need to define the user state, that is user, and then I like to set a user, then use state, that is null by default, but in the generic that should be two things. One is the user. What is the user type? Is I am defined here? No. So what I need to do, I just create another folder here, that is type, on the src directory, types, and here I will copy the types of a user from that types model, copy, and then go bottom, and here you can see what is the types. Yeah, here I just need to paste it. Great, now cut it, also this, then here I need to use that user types and either null, because that can be two things. Now I need to use a use effect, and the use effect should be called on the first time, and yeah, when that application is rendered. Now here I create a constant that is unsubscribe, because that is one kind of you know, if you know the Firebase authentication, then you know what I'm doing. Then data, then I can call the data. Okay, here I'm going to call the data.fetch, and that is a asynchronous thing, and I just wait some time. Now here I like to use a condition, that is if data dot is success. Okay, if data dot is success is true, then set a user, set a user on data, and that is data dot current data. Yeah, current data. Now if you not success, then else, and call that await data refresh once again, and in the return I just call that unsubscribe. Okay, now in response okay, thanks buddy for telling me that. Okay, now in the response or on value I just pass that user. Okay, now you can see a type error, and I just pass here the not only user, because the data have a lot of things. Current data have a data, and the data have that user. Okay, now you can see that, okay, that should be two things. One is user and null. Okay, I just need to add here a null. Now if I go on the home page, not only home page, channel join page, and call that user, then what I am getting, if I refresh that, I use again hard reload. So you can see in the line of 30 there have a channel joining information but not have any other information, and other information is null. Why buddy, why you null? I don't know why that is null. So also I don't know why I'm using lazy. So however, I am now going to use the actually query. I am not intentionally make that video long. If you thinking that I am intentionally make that video long, then you are wrong. Then cut that. I just simply pass that data dot data. Okay, now here you can see information retrieve, and the information is the user information, and in the data, if I make it like that, that's refreshing, and there I am directly getting the user information. Now here you can see there have a newcomer true. Now I will go on the home page, and here I will call that use context thing, and here I will use that use context and also this. Now here what I will do, I use a use effect, and the use effect will make something like if when that is called if that user have the user, if that user is updated, then call you, then that ensure that I call a if, then if that user, then the user, then a newcomer is true, then please call that trigger where the I don't have any argument. Okay, and if you are not a true, you are false, then I don't need you, don't call you. So now here I just need to click on next, and I guess that API is called. If I go on here, you can see the API call that is marked as old, and here is newcomer is false. In above, if you check, is newcomer is true. Now if I cut that mini app, now logically I am not a new user, so I don't want to see that welcome or newcomer introduction page, so that is still show me. So what I need to do, I just need to go on loading page, and there I need to do a thing that is okay when that loading is, because that I am directly calling that spellish page, and that is a spellish page. Okay, so here I need to do something like, okay, I just need to check the routes, and the routes there have a spellish page and the spellish is loading. So what that spellish is doing, so there have 3 line of comment. The loading screen is appear until come the response from server. In the time, try to retrieve the user from the server, and if the user exists, then go on the home page, and if the user is new, then go on reward page. So we are going to do that same thing on our next video, so stay tuned.